Hey everybody, Bob here, and welcome to another Making Stuff video. This is number 5 in the Filament Extruder project, and this video is going to be about building the puller that pulls the filament out of the extruder. And to get that project started, I needed 2 drive rollers. It seems that the urethane drive rollers are what everybody's using by checking out on other YouTube channels. And I went to go buy some and I was kind of shocked at the price. 2 very small drive rollers that would hook up to something like this stepper motor were $29 a piece. And to me, that's a lot for a piece of metal with some rubber on it. So I figured, you know, I need 2 of those. That's going to be almost $60. Well, after shipping and possibly tax, it would be well over $60 for 2 little bitty drive rollers. And to me, that's just ridiculous. So I figured there's got to be a better way to do this. So in keeping with the theme of off-shelf parts, I'm going to take this. This is called a J roller, and it's used for laminate and other things. And it's basically just one piece of aluminum and a roller on the end. And it's held in with this little clip here, which I've taken off with the brute force method. So it slides right off. There's no bearings or anything in there. It just turns on the aluminum. And all it is, it's a wooden roller with the urethane coating all the way around it. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of round stock and put it on my benchtop lathe and cut it down so that it'll fit tightly in here instead of spinning. And then I'm going to leave a little hanging out the end like this, that we can put a set screw in and then drill out the center so that it'll fit on a stepper motor or a shaft. And then I'm going to make my own drive roller. And I'm going to also cut this in half so I can get 2 out of 1 J roller. And you can pick these up at yard sales, flea markets for a couple of bucks, and this is a couple of bucks. So instead of a $60 drive roller, I'm going to have probably a $3 drive roller. And to get this started, I'm going to have to cut this in half so I can get 2 rollers. So let's head over to the bandstall. Alright, so that turned out pretty good, and it cut through there, and to my surprise, from looking at this on the outside, I thought this was a very large wooden dowel with maybe a thin coat of rubber on it, but it turns out that the rubber is actually pretty thick, which is why I had a little bit of hard time getting the bandsaw to go through it, but once it started, it went through fine. So now I've got 2 rollers here, and it's time to head over to the lathe and turn this into a drive roller. Alright, so here's the piece that I have turned on the lathe, and it's just a little insert. I drilled and tapped it for a set screw, and that goes on the end of the stepper motor. So now I need to make my way over to the press and press this into here. This will focus, because I made this a really tight fit because I don't want it spinning on that aluminum. So let's go try that out. I've got this set up on the arbor press, so I'm just going to press this in ever so slightly. And it looks like it's going through. Oh. And there we go. All right, so here is the finished drive roller. Looks pretty good. Give it a test fit here. And the idea is the motor will turn and this will spin and pull the filament out of the extruder. So now I got to go build another one to go on top. Alright, after thinking about this for a few minutes, I don't really need another drive roller like this one. I need an idler to sit on top of it. So what I'm going to do is take the other half here, and I looked in my scrap bin and I had a couple of these bearings left over. I believe it's from the claw machine project. I had to order a 10-pack and I used 8 for that project. So I've got 2 left over, and they just so happen to fit right in there just perfect. So what I'm going to do is take the little wooden tube that was in there originally and pull it out and cut off enough so this one will go on this side, and then I'll have one idler and then I'll have one drive roller, and then I'll be able to make the rest of the puller. Alright, that turned out pretty good. I've got my idler here and I've got it just on a little shaft, and it spins pretty good. And now I can take the drive roller and put it next to the idler and can start pulling some filament. Now I need to build a little stand to hold all of this and mount the stepper motor to.